It's been a long process actually. I've been into the gaming industry for, oh, geez, it must be about 30 years now. I used to work for Games Workshop at the head office. I was never a red shirt. I always had dreams of being a game designer, and realizing how narrow of a opportunity that is, you know what I mean, I kind of broadened my goals to maybe be owning my own game store. If I couldn't design the games, then maybe I could at least participate somehow that way in the industry. And so that's what I always had kind of in the back of my mind. And then it was a lot of hard work with a lot of not so pleasurable jobs. You know, everyone has to go through that, saving up money and everything like that, and then eventually seeing it happen.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, that's I'll pay you $25 then.
A bunch of Marines he hid behind the trees because I blew up. He had 2 rhinos.
They only have fluorescence?
I popped them both.
First turn.
First turn I popped the one. Second turn I popped the other.
Have you asked for help? Is this what they've shown you?
Behind that tree back there.
And I chose Milton because Milton is a rapidly developing community. So I thought that it might be good to kind of give, as it's growing, so too will its gaming community. It's ebb and flow. It's a lot of that. It's about riding certain currents and things like that. Something particular about this area and the gamers here is what we call the Milton Creep. It's kind of a strange name for it. But what happens is enthusiasm is usually high when there's a new product, but it quickly drops off. Okay, so that's usually what that I seem to find a lot is something that is a challenge to deal with. Is constantly trying to keep enthusiasm and motivation for new product and games high. A lot of the customers are very discerning. They are very careful with what they buy. They're very, instead of just seeing something that sparks their interest and going for it, it's usually a hum and haw situation. It's a lot different than when I was a gamer, when I was going to game stores. I pretty much went in and my wallet was empty pretty much by the time I left. It's not so much that way anymore. A lot of people are a lot more careful now. And there's a lot more games out there now too. A lot of people are kind of determining what they want to invest in and make sure that it's going to be something that that they want to support for a long time as well.
That's one thing that's kind of cool about Dust Tactics, because it's not your whole army goes, then your whole army goes. It's squad by squad.
And I'm so waiting for Warhammer to do that.
Yeah.
Like get up to speed and stop playing a war game with the 70s.
Yeah.
That's almost every single war game out there. Warhammer's the only one where entire army goes and you're just sitting there. You done punching me in the face now? Can I go now? Thanks. So that's one of the things is knowing the industry, knowing what's coming out, and knowing what your customer base wants. I used to have quite a different amount of product here. It was a lot of different selection, and I realized over the years I've narrowed it down to what Milton wants. So that's what we have here. I realized that downstairs was being utilized only a couple times a week. I really was paying for rent on it for, and not maximizing its usage for the rent I was paying on it, if you don't mind. Good? A criminal or something?
No, so you owe me $19.
2 boxes of guys in the shoulder pads, that'll cost 100 and...
Player. At 3 players, it's actually the best for,
I know, it's $18.
yeah, for first place until you get to 5. Yeah. So, because second place always breaks even. And so I offered her a chance to take a business, to open up her own business downstairs. And surprisingly, she did quite well with it, and I'm very proud of this situation. And it definitely helped me out economically as well through some difficult times throughout the years here at Battlegrounds. Per wound. 40 points per wound is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, tactical
Another
Marines.
12 shots?
Another 12?
Another 12?
All right, thank you for playing.
No worries.
I think it's definitely opened up a different venue for people that will come in, traffic that will come into a game store, that's for sure. A lot of guys that normally would be sitting around a table and not expecting the type of characters or the type of people, personalities that will be coming through that door and heading downstairs. I think it gives a good mix. It makes exposure for both groups as well. Every now and then we do get overlap. I have tattoos all over me. I know you can't see them because of my old man sweater, but I am one of those type of people. A lot of other people, they also they skirt the edges of both things as well. And I think now that tattoos are becoming more and more mainstream, a lot more acceptable, almost like a cosmetic shop at this point. You're going to see a lot more of that as well, where it's not going to be such an extreme situation. It'd almost be like I had a hair salon downstairs instead of a tattoo studio.